In this world, as long as you understand the structure of matter, you can create anything, so the man briefly imagined the molecular structure of water in his mind, and before long, he learned water magic. When he pictured compounds like gold, a large pile of rare materials immediately appeared right in front of him. Not long ago, Jack had still been a medical professor. After witnessing his younger sister die of cancer, when he was still very young, he made up his mind back then to develop a medicine that could cure cancer. But on this particular day, after working late into the night on an experiment, just as Jack was about to take a short break, something unexpected happened. When he opened his eyes again, he found himself in a completely unfamiliar place. While Jack was still confused, the maid Annie noticed he was awake and hurried over to explain that he had lost consciousness after being struck by lightning. At that moment, Jack noticed the time reminder recorded on his hand and instantly understood he had likely died from extreme exhaustion and been reincarnated into another world. So Jack told Annie that the lightning strike had caused him to lose his memories and asked her to help him understand the situation. From Annie's explanation, Jack learned that this was a world where alchemy and magic coexisted. His father was a highly respected royal court pharmacist. As for Jack himself, he was a prodigy who possessed divine water magic. After hearing this, Jack asked whether he could still use that magic. To his surprise, Annie reacted with visible fear and asked if he had forgotten even that. When Jack confirmed it, Annie became genuinely terrified because the ability to use divine magic was a symbol of noble status. If Jack had forgotten how to use it, he would lose his nobility and might even be driven out of his home. After returning to his room, Jack recalled what Annie had said about how divine magic worked. He began imagining the structure of a water molecule in his mind. The moment he completed the image, a pool of water appeared out of thin air in his hand. The amount of water kept increasing, and Jack instantly panicked because he had no idea how to stop the magic. With no other choice, he rushed to the window and dumped all the water he had created outside. After that, he tried creating other substances. To his surprise, even compounds like sodium chloride could be formed without issue, but mixtures could not be created. On top of that, Jack discovered that his left hand could create objects, while his right hand could erase them. Just as he was about to study this further, Annie knocked on the door and came in. She told Jack that his father liked to quiz him on pharmaceutical knowledge at the dinner table. If Jack, now suffering from amnesia, failed to answer, he might be punished. Hearing this, Jack couldn't help but feel nervous and quickly headed to the study, hoping to see whether he could still understand the material. When Jack opened a book and began reading, he was shocked to discover that the contents were nothing more than medical knowledge from centuries ago on Earth. For Jack, who had been a top student of modern medicine in his previous life, this was all incredibly easy. At the dinner table, when faced with his father's medical questions, Jack answered them smoothly and without hesitation. Seeing that Jack didn't seem too affected by the lightning strike, his father told him to go see Teacher Ellen after the meal and continue his lessons. Teacher Ellen, seeing the Jack before her behaving so differently than before, couldn't help but feel suspicious. Noticing this, Jack explained that after being struck by lightning, he had lost part of his memory. Hearing this explanation,